Hi, we are from At Home Tuition. In this video, we are going to see grouping of data with few examples. First question is, study the following frequency distribution table and answer the questions given below. So, the frequency distribution table says class interval that represents daily income in rupees and the frequency table that gives number of workers. So, the class interval starts from 100 and it ends at 325. Okay. So, on the total number of workers they have given is 550. Okay, so now if you look into this class interval 100 to 125, we have 45 number of workers. So, in 125 to 150, 25 number of workers and so on. And the last is 300 to 325 class interval, that is 300 to 325 represents daily income that ranges from 300 to 325. So, the wages earned by 20 workers are between 300 to 325. So, these are all the few informations that we gathered from the given frequency distribution table. Now, let's move on to the questions what they have asked. So, first question, what is the size of the class interval? Okay, so we'll see how to find the size of the class interval. Solution. So, the difference between the upper class limit and lower class limit is called the width or the size of the class interval. So, our question is size of the class intervals. So, now let's take the first class interval. Say example 100 to 125 is the first class interval given in our distribution table. So, in this class interval 100 is the lower class limit and 125 is the upper class limit. So, from the definition we can write class interval is equal to upper class limit minus lower class limit because it's the difference between. So, we have subtracting it. So, 125 is the upper class limit minus the lower class limit is 100. So, 125 minus 100, the class intervals is 25. So, thus the class interval is 25. Note, we have to keep in a point that it always the class interval should be equal in range for all the datas to be taken. Second question is, which class has the highest frequency? If you look into the table, the frequency values are ranging from 45, 25, 55, 125, 140, 55, 35, 50 and 20. Now, if you look into this values, 140 is the highest frequency value. So, now we have to move into the given table and we have to check against this 140 frequency value, what is the class interval lying. So, if you check in the table, we'll get 200 to 225 is the class interval. So, thus we can say that the class 200 to 225 has the highest frequency value, that is 140. Third question, which class has the lowest frequency? Again, we are looking into the frequency values given, that is 45, 25, 55, 125, 140, 55, 35, 50 and 20. So, out of all these things, 20 is the lowest frequency value. Now, we have to look into the table for the class interval against the frequency value 20. So, if you see, you will have the class interval of value 300 to 325 has the frequency of 20. Thus, we are saying that the class 300 to 325 has the lowest frequency. Next question is, what is the upper limit of the class interval 250 to 275? The upper class limit of a class is defined as the largest data value that can go into the class. So, largest value. So, the given class interval is 250 to 275. So, 275 is the largest data value that can go into the class. So, thus 275 is the upper limit of the class interval 250 to 275. Fifth question is, which two classes have the same frequency? So, again we are going for the frequency values given in the table. You know that 45, 25, 55, 125, 140, 55, 35, 50 and 20. So, if you look here, 55 is repeated again. So, frequency value 55 is repeated, which falls in the class interval of 150 to 175 and 225 to 250. This we have found out from the given table. So, thus we are concluding that 150 to 175 and 225 to 250 are the class intervals that have the same frequency. Next question is construct a frequency distribution table for the data on weights in kg of 20 students of a class using the intervals 30 to 35, 35 to 40 and so on. So these are all the weights in kg. Now let's go for the solution, solving this problem. First step, we'll analyze the given data. So these are all the given data. So in this given data, if you look into it, 31 is the lowest number and 65 is the highest number. So we can take the group or the class intervals from 31 to 70. Okay, so in the size of class intervals of 5, that is the difference is 31 to 35. That is we are going from 30 to 35 and 35 to 40. It's given in our question. So first class interval is 30 to 35. So if you look into the given data, the numbers 33, 31 and 34 lies between the interval 30 and 35. The next second class interval is 35 to 40. Now if you look into the data, 38, 36, 38 and 39 lies in this group interval 35 to 40. Now we have a number 40. We know that the number 40 should belongs to the higher class. That is, you have a confusion whether we have to add 40 either in the class interval 35 to 40 or in the class interval of 40 to 45, because we have to add this 40 only in any one of the class interval. We cannot do it in both the class intervals. So you have a doubt whether to add in this 35 to 40 or in the 40 to 45. So we have already learned that the 40 belongs to the higher class interval. So if you consider these two class intervals, that is 35 to 40 and 40 to 45, this 40 to 45 you will call it as higher class interval. So this 40 belongs to higher class interval. So we are writing this 40 value in this class interval 40 to 45. So the values that lies between 40 to 45 are 40, 41, 42 and 44. So totally we'll have 4 values. Next we are moving to the next class interval 45 to 50. So from the given data we have the data such as 48, 46, 49, 49 and 47 are the values that lies between 45 and 50. Next class interval is 50 to 55. We have 53 in between this interval. Next we have the value 55. So again the 55 has to belong to the higher class, not to the lower class. So it belongs to 55 to 60. Similarly we have a value 60 that also belongs to higher class, that is 60 to 65. Again we have 65 that also belongs to the higher class 65 to 70 and not on 60 to 65. So these are all the places we have to concentrate more. Now we will form a frequency distribution table under the following headings: groups or class interval, tally mark and the frequency. Now we have grouped the data, right? 30 to 35 we have 3 numbers. So I have put 3 tally marks and the frequency is 3. Similarly for 35 to 40 we have 4 frequency, 40 to 45 4, 45 to 55, 50 to 55 1, 55 to 61, 60 to 65 1, 65 to 71. So if you add all these things you will get 20. So 20 represents the number of students and this group table gives the weight in kilograms. Hope you have understood both the questions well. Thank you for watching the video.